Star Wars Acolyte is a very hotly anticipated Star Wars series because it's going to deal with something that we have not seen actually pretty much at all in terms of the big screen, small screen. The only thing that we've really gotten it is in the book series, but we're going to dive into the details around the Sith. Apparently, it could be even a Sith-led story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, this is a clip from our full episode, so make sure you check that out in the description and on this channel. Just as a refresher for people, Star Wars Acolyte is set 100 years before the Phantom Menace and is going to dive into the details around the rise of the Sith and kind of how the Jedi just weren't around to really notice them.
Just their blindness to all the little schemes they were brewing up.
It's so weird to think about
the pride of the Jedi.
Obviously in lore we have so many different things that lead into the rise of the Sith and the Jedi not noticing them. One, in Legends, the Jedi Temple is built upon an ancient Sith Temple.
Really?
Yes, deep below the surface of Coruscant. It was originally a Sith Temple.
That checks out.
The Jedi defeated the Sith and claimed it for their own, and as a show of power built their temple on top of it. The Sith normally will build their temples on nexus points of Sith energy. So said Sith energy helped to hide the fact that Emperor Palpatine was Emperor Palpatine, one of the strongest Sith around.
I'm really curious to see what 100 years ago even looks like as far as like from Phantom Menace. Like what?
Because the prequels were set up as like this really idyllic place in the galaxy, this part of the Star Wars timeline that just is clean, everything's bright, shiny, new. It's a time of excess, it's a time of extravagance really, in terms of this is pre-Clone War, so there isn't a lot of that turmoil. This is more than likely pre-separatists even. So we're going to see a very different timeline.
Yeah.
Things could be older. Things could be in the process of getting better, newer, fancier, all of that kind of thing too.
I think we're going to see a lot of prosperity starting to grow. And then with that, everyone's not really looking in the cracks, you know? So it should be good.
Some of the things are just kind of falling through. Like how we've been getting all of these leaks for Star Wars Acolyte. It's currently filming in a variety of different locations, and it seems like pretty much every week we're getting more details around the production. One of these names comes from the producer Karen McCarthy that they let go of on the project, and in terms of her contract, they broke her contract, and she's suing Lucasfilm because of a breach of contract. But because of that, we've got some interesting details.
So it looks like we have multiple seasons already planned. That means that they have like a decent story laid out already, it seems. So
according to these documents released, they, in the writer's room, while developing the first season, have an outline for multiple seasons of the show to take place.
Yeah.
So they have an idea of where they want the characters to go, and this is before the first season even comes out. We have an idea of more of this kind of thing, and I think that's a good thing.
Same.
I think it's fun to have this Star Wars story that they know where it's gonna go. This seems a lot more on the same level as like Andor, where they have an idea of where they want the story to go. Maybe it's 2 seasons, maybe it's 3 seasons, maybe it's more than that. But it's definitely geared towards the older, more mature audience.
I know, I'm kind of torn between trying to think of it as Andor or if it's like more like a Bad Batch thing. Like, is this like somewhere in the middle? Like where we're not getting too dark, but at the same time,
I think it's gonna get dark.
I think it's probably gonna be
I mean, Bad Batch gets pretty dark.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I think we're getting much more of the Andor-esque thing because we're dealing with the Sith. It's got to go dark.
That's true. It's got to go dark.
Yeah.
We're on the dark side now, boys.
Bravo 6 going dark. Yeah, I think that's something that I think we're going to expect more of. And on that note, we have, this is probably the weirdest, most specific new detail that we have around Star Wars Acolyte. And that is what we are expecting in terms of the length of the season, as well as the length of the episodes. This comes from the resume of the intimacy coordinator for Star Wars Acolyte. It is going to run, according to this, it is formatted as 8 by 60. 8 episodes, 60 minutes in length.
That's interesting information.
Right?
But what's more interesting is who had the time to dig through these resumes and be like, I just want to know what I can find. I'm going to look at the resumes of these people. Like,
you underestimate the power of the Star Wars fans.
Clearly, wow. Good job.
You underestimate my power. Don't try it.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Seriously, people dig deep. But I think another one of the things that we should point out with this is they have an intimacy coordinator. Frequently, they're around romantic engagements on TV shows and movies. They may have been working on all of the episodes or only a few of the episodes. This is probably going to engage with more of the adult romantic side of things.
Interesting. Do you think we're going to get like a pretty deep dive into some romantic
Maybe. We saw a little bit of it in Andor, which I was surprised about.
I'm trying to remember that. I guess we did, but
yeah. With Bix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I think all of these things are coming with it. You've got the Sith, we've got just the deeper conspiracy theories, we've got the darker setting, we've got the 100 years before the Phantom Menace, we've got an intimacy coordinator involved. It seems like they're going for more of that adult Star Wars story. There's so much excitement for the Sith that I think it's going to succeed very well.
Yeah, I think it's going to do great.